My name is Ben LaFrance. I was born and raised in Bozeman, Montana. For 6 years during graduate school, I worked on electron microscopes. They're 40 feet underground because they're extremely sensitive to sun rays and any sort of movement. You're not allowed to talk because talking vibrations will affect the microscope. It's exciting, it's right as cutting edge work, but also just that environment's not conducive to happiness, really. The coronavirus pandemic hit, we were shut down, keys were turned off, you weren't allowed access even to go in the building for months. And so I decided to come back to Bozeman. My neighbor, Andy Ray, asked me at the end of my graduate work if I wanted to come work for him as an amphibian technician for the summer, and that's where Mary comes in.
For the past 17 years, I've gone out and monitored amphibians in Yellowstone. I love working with amphibians. Ooh, this is great. My job is to go out and monitor amphibians, collect field data.
There's one. There's some over there. There's one. Oh, there's one. Wow, there's so many. Oh, look, the beaver activity. Look at all this fresh mud.
Everything is connected in this ecosystem. Amphibians are kind of an indicator species. You know, they're that canary in the coal mine, and you know, if we have a healthy population of amphibians, then we have a healthy watershed, and therefore we have a healthy ecosystem. Some of the places where we find amphibians now in the future may not be suitable habitat for them. With climate change, the threats to amphibians are not just to amphibians, it's to all species that we have here. If we have a polluted watershed, it's not just amphibians, but it's also the fish populations, the bird populations, and then all of the populations that depend on those species.
Not just in the Greater Yellowstone ecosystem, but across the nation, there are thousands and thousands of species that we can still protect. I think starting working for the Greater Yellowstone Network gave me some hopefulness about how fast nature can adapt under these kind of situations, and it's very exciting to have that hopefulness kind of come back. The main takeaway that I connect with is to preserve unimpaired the natural, cultural, and historic resources for future generations, and I think our role in preserving that in the face of climate change is to monitor these amphibians and seeing if we are preserving them for future generations. Growing up in Bozeman with Yellowstone being 80 miles away, I didn't have an appreciation for everything that lives there and calls that place home. You just grow up with Yellowstone in your backyard like it's no big deal. You go away for a few years, you reconnect with coming back home, and you realize that this is an amazing place. People have saved up their entire life to come visit Yellowstone, and I get to work here every single day. Like, that's freaking exciting.